All right, guys, check me out. Look at this. It's time for Dream Homies live show. I'm so freaking excited because look at this. Look at this stuff. I've got amazing graphics. I am going to be able to share my screen with you. It's really awesome. The only thing, I have to go live off of my laptop, so it's kind of changing the way I do things a bit. So I'm going to be moving this around a bit while I'm trying to figure some stuff out. But I have got so much to update you guys on, and I'm doing this a little different, like I said. So you're going to have to bear with me because I honestly have no idea how this is going to work and how this is going to like show me comments, or if I have to actually, so I actually have my phone here because I'm live on my laptop. So I'm going to see if this is actually streaming, make sure that, ooh, it is, and it's very exciting. I'm going to do like I normally do, which is share this now okay. I don't share to a group. You know what? I'm not going to share it in my group because I can't figure out how to do that right now. So, all right. I'm very excited. It's been a really long time since I've gone live, and I feel like I have so many things to update you guys on. The first thing was obviously that I have this wicked awesome software. So now I'm actually introducing show notes, which means that everything I'm talking about, you're going to be able to access kind of like a summary, I guess you could call it, of basically everything that I talk about in my show notes. So I'm trying to figure out how to create a URL that's a little shorter, that is not going to be michellebennett.com/live-show-7, because that just is really kind of annoying to say. I'm going to try to figure that out, but for now, that's the link you can go to get the show notes. Pretty cool, right? The other thing I can do now is I'm going to share my screen. So now I don't have to hold up paper like I was doing like this to show you guys stuff. I can actually show you guys stuff on my screen. I'm not going to waste all of my ink, which I've been doing. I'm actually out of ink after I literally just got ink at Christmas. So, I'm hoping that's going to make for, better tips, better tricks, better ways for us to kind of communicate and do our thing. So, okay, what am I going to talk about today? Oh, first things first. If you think this might be valuable to somebody, I really would love if you could just share this. Obviously, I want more people to watch, and I want people to kind of know that I'm doing this and about my Facebook group. So do me the old favor and share. And apparently the way you can do that is there should be a button. There should be a button down in this corner where you can actually click. I think there's like a ... click, and you can share it to your own page. So, okay, I'm going to do this, guys. We're going to share. We're going to get real crazy. Hopefully, this looks a hot mess right now. I'm not going to lie. Let's see if I can make this actually do what I wanted to do. So I'm going to just do a quick pause while I'm waiting to see whether this the screen actually shares, and it totally did. So look at this. So now I'm over here in the corner, and it's amazing. So it's really, really awesome. I'm going to try not to watch what's going on over here, but I like to be able to see what's happening because I'm not going to be able to see the comments anymore. So Paris. Let's talk about Paris. Paris was freaking amazing. I posted a whole bunch of blogs while I was gone. If you want to see some of the amazing photos that I took while I was there, you can go to obviously the show notes. The URL is down below. And you can see some links to some of those. But I'm going to just share with you the picture that I think just brought me the most amount of joy while I was in Paris. And what happened here is, no, these are not our berets, even though I was like dying to find a beret because I really felt like I needed a beret. But we were walking up to the Eiffel Tower, and there was three or four girls wearing striped shirts. They were doing like an impromptu photo shoot sesh, and they had these berets on, and they asked us to take their photos, which of course, obviously we did. And then we asked them to take our photos, and obviously we needed the berets. And after these photos were taken, I swear to you, I was like, I could not stop smiling. I freaking love them. I'm pretty sure Dave, my partner here, is going to be so mad at me for posting this like this, but I don't care because they're amazing and they brought me joy. Few things that inspired me while I was in Paris, as far as just kind of design. probably my favorite, I don't know what it was about the Picasso Museum, but it was my favorite museum as far as the architecture of the building. My dad, as many of you know, is actually an artist, and, you know, I should be more into art than I actually am, but you know, it's cool to be able to go see those really cool pieces in museums, but I'm not so into art that I'm like enthralled and going and looking at every piece in a museum. But this museum was amazing. It was whitewashed walls. You can see kind of in between, in the doorway there's amazing architecture. There was the wooden trim that was still kind of showing, and it was honestly amazing. I'm just going to keep looking. I can't see comments if people are commenting. So because of the way I've done this, just so you know, I can't see your comments. And if you do happen to comment, do me a favor. Actually, do me a favor and comment to tell me that you can hear me. I'm just really kind of nervous now that somehow. Do me a favor and comment. I just want to make sure people can hear me. But yeah, so basically they kept the nice original wood, which I really like. I'm very into painting wood trim when it makes sense. But when you have wood like this, for example, I would never suggest painting this. It's obviously gorgeous and I adore it. Another thing I loved was basically when you're walking the streets of Paris, there was a lot of storefronts that actually had plants that were in planters, like trees like this one, for example, out front of their storefronts. So I saw so many of these. A lot of them reminded me a little bit of the olive trees that I had posted as a new trend. I really loved them. Sometimes people use baskets to actually just like to have them planted in. There were so many of these as I was walking. I loved it so much. And I was really pissed off at myself because I meant to stop at a store that was selling them and just ask to see whether or not, like, what kind of plants are these? You know, what kind of temperature do they need to thrive in? But I didn't end up doing it, so I'm kind of pissed at myself. But it was amazing. Another thing I loved was so many shutters, and I preferred actually when it was really patinaed, like the shutters were kind of like the paint was chipping away, and I don't know, it just added this element of beauty, and it was amazing. So if you haven't been to Paris, I highly recommend going to Paris and checking out, just seeing a beauty all around you. Again, you can go to my, basically to the show notes, link below here, and just basically check out all the photos. It was beauty everywhere. It was amazing. Okay, what else, guys? Ooh, we're going to Champs. So I talked a little bit about, I've talked here and there about, my roller derby games, and we lost one of our games, but we still had the opportunity to come back and win the next game and go to Champs. So we're going to Champs, and this was a hilarious photo that was taken in the last game where I just don't really even understand what I'm doing here, but I'm on my toes. So for whatever reason, it reminded me of Michael Jackson. So I like to channel my inner Michael Jackson while I skate, apparently. Who knew? And you know what else? I should actually post the picture. I was Michael Jackson for Halloween once, and a lot of people were really creeped out by how much I actually did resemble him, and actually it freaks me out when I think about it too. But anyway, so last game is on June 3rd, and it's going to be a really intense game. I'm really, really excited about it. So there we go. I'm a bit nervous. I don't think that I'm looking at the live feed, guys. So this is one of those episodes where things are a little clunky. Is this working? Sorry, guys. Live feed, guys. So this is one of those episodes where things are a little clunky. Because I'm trying to figure this out. So, okay. Oh, God. You guys don't need to hear that. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? These are the things I gotta iron out, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm really hopeful that this is working, though. I have some stuff to learn as far as how to use this software, obviously. But we'll see. Hopefully things will be all good. Okay. Sorry, moving along, I gotta mute this. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Oh, another really exciting thing is I revealed Project Woodland Whimsy. This was a really fun project. I adored everything about it. It really made me realize that I have a love for designing kids' rooms, and I loved that my client and I worked obviously together on this. She gave me kind of a theme, and I really felt it was important that I took the theme and made sure to reel it in. So, because I find with some people, and I'm not referring to my specific client, but in general, people will come up with a theme for their kids' room and it will become just so overt and a bit too over the top. So my goal here was to really balance the idea of like the woodland feel in the room. So I brought in like this fox head, which is really cute as a paper mache fox head. She also specifically requested the house bed. So it was up to me to kind of bring the space together and make it work. It wasn't a very big space, but it was a great space that I loved working on. And from what I can tell, her son's adoring it as well. So you can check that out also by going to the show notes in the link below. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is something I'm super pumped about. I talked a little bit about this. Oh, and I will apologize. I did plan to go live last Friday, and I fully can appreciate that I did not go live last Friday, and I'm so sorry for that. I had a lot of client project kind of things come up that I had to deal with last minute, and I wanted to go live Saturday morning, but I'm just going to be real. I was in a mood. I was really tired. I feel like if I'm going to come here and talk to you guys, I want you guys to see me at my best. And it's pretty rare that I'm in a bad mood, but you know, it happens to the best of us. And I didn't want to come on here when I wasn't feeling quite up to par. So one thing I kind of teased you guys about was something new that I'm launching, and I'm super pumped about this new service that I'll be offering. So a little while ago, I sent out a survey asking you guys to fill it out and just give me a bit more insight into what you need help with. Like, what is it that you're looking for help with? What can I do to help you create a home that you love? So it was very interesting, the results. Decor coaching really did come in the top of what people were asking for. So obviously that made me think, okay, maybe obviously I should really test this out. So I'm happy to say that I've launched the services, and basically what I'm doing is there's going to be 3 tiers, and this is me testing things out. And the only way I can really figure out what is going to make the most sense is to work with people like you. So basically I'm going to have 3 services. The first one is basically just the quickie, which is a 1-hour session where we're going to do a Skype call, a Zoom call, whatever works best for you. And you're going to kind of take me on a tour of the space, and you're going to ask me questions and I'm going to answer them. I'm going to record that call so you'll have the recording to access whenever you want. And I'm also going to include follow-up notes. So the price for that is going to be $199. So basically you're going to get a login to my design studio where everything that we've talked about will all be housed. The second tier is going to be 4 hours for $499. Again, you are going to do a 1-hour kickoff call where we're going to talk about what you're trying to do. Then you're going to get 3 additional hours of working with me for 30 days where you can email me, call me, set up a call, whatever you want that to look like, and I'm going to help you along the way. So what this is going to be great for is people who already kind of have an idea of what they're going to do in their home, but they're feeling like they're afraid to pull the trigger. They're afraid to make decisions because they're scared of making the wrong decision, picking the wrong thing. So you can basically use me, send me photos of things that you're finding, measurements of your space to pick my brain. So we can do things like help determine style, add personality into your space, define your budget, basically anything and everything. And it would be up to me to really work with you to figure out whether this is the best service based on your goals. But from the sounds of it, a lot of you would love to be doing this. So I'm hoping to bring this to you. So, and then the third tier will be just more hours, so 6 hours for $699. And again, you get a login to an online studio where you always have access to all of the stuff that we've talked about. You're going to get a 1-hour call automatically off the bat. We can have additional hour calls if that's how you want to kind of use your hours. And then you're going to get a report that's going to be placed into the studio. So I'm happy to discuss more of this later, and I'm really excited. I'm going to be offering the 4 hours, so the middle package, which is regular $499 for 25% off to one person. So the way that you can actually submit your name is to go to the URL below and just go scroll through the show notes to find the decor coaching section and click a questionnaire, fill it out, And basically I will be able to, I'm just going to assess basically, I'm going to pick one person from all the submissions that I think is in the best position to maximize this service. And then what it is paid up front, and we can talk more about all this if we move forward, but it's paid up front and you need to use your hours within a 30-day span after that initial kickoff. So I'm very excited. That was a lot of information. You can also go check it out in my services on my website. Okay. So it's time for Homie Spotlight. So this week's Homie Spotlight is going to be Robyn J, because I figure I shouldn't tell people's last names on the internet because that's not cool. But she posted and asked a question about her, I think this is just in a hallway or an entryway. She was asking about pillows. But I wanted to spotlight her because she was talking about how she did this gallery wall, and I think she did an amazing job with her gallery wall. It's got great balance. So basically she's balanced the blues really nicely, varying shapes, varying frames, varying sizes. She's done a really good job. So I want to just give her a virtual high five, boom, to Robyn. And if you guys love what she's done, then you should totally give her the likes as well, because it's just the right thing to do, peeps. Okay, so what's next here? Homie Q&A. Okay, guys. So if you're not already a member in my Facebook group, basically you can go to dreamhomies.com, or you can go to my show notes, and basically you can click at the very bottom link to join my Facebook group. My Facebook group is for just any homeowner, or anybody renting as well, anybody who needs help creating a space that they love. And you can basically pick the brains of all the homies in the group, including myself, and every now and then I will actually feature them on this show. So here is the question that came through in Dream Homies. So it's from Cheryl, and basically Cheryl wants recommendations on how to make her space feel a little bit more homey. Her husband and her rarely share the same vision. I want to repaint the ivory hutch behind the couch. Looking for a recommendation on paint, and we need some type of coffee table tray, ottoman, living room, more colorful. I'm actually going to only focus on the living room because obviously she's posted a lot of rooms here, and in the interest of time for myself and for this show, I'm only going to focus on the living room. So let's take a closer look at the living room. So this is basically what we're dealing with. I don't think that I can actually use the cursor to point at things, and I cannot. So basically, here's the starting point. This is a great space. This is what a lot of people do. I find a lot of people will actually take their space to this stage, and then they'll kind of stop. They won't actually take it to a finished accessories and all the finishing touches that really do make the space feel finished, like it should be in a magazine, and also, like she says, more homey. So I'm going to take you through 7 things that I would do with this space if I was working with her as a client, and that I suggest. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 would be obviously the coffee table, which she asks about. And what I would actually do is go for a round coffee table. It's hard to know what size it needs to be because I don't have any measurements. But when I'm decorating a space, I'm always trying to think about lots of different things. Obviously, adding textures, adding varying heights into the space, adding varying finishes. So right now what we see is we've got wood with the armoire. We've got some fabrics with the couch and the chair. We've got some glass, things like that, varying textures, but we don't have metal. So what I thought might be nice here is to add a metal. So this coffee table is actually from West Elm, and it's a metal finish. So it's got a little texture on it. So it's really nice to add a bit more dimension into the space. Obviously, I would style the coffee table as well. So the key to styling coffee tables is thinking about things in varying heights and levels and grouping things together. So in this one, I've just basically copy and paste something, but you've got some stacked books, and you've got like a little metal sphere placed on top of it. And then there's a little plant that's varying in height, so that's kind of keeping things interesting. And then a gold tray that's really quite short, so you're seeing varying levels of heights there. So that's number 1. Number 2. I would add a Roman shade onto the window, but I don't think I would go with a fabric or a pattern because you've got the art right beside the window, and I really think that should be the statement. And instead I would add maybe a bamboo shade, which adds a nice texture, a natural feel into the space, and keeps things kind of interesting. The next thing I would do is replace the light fixture. So the light fixture, the thing to keep in mind is if you look through the double doors, there's actually a couch. It might be hard to see that, but there's actually a couch on the other side. And anytime I'm designing a room, I'm always considering varying sight lines. So in this case, one of the sight lines will be if you're sitting on that couch and if you're actually kind of looking through to the other room. So instead of having a fan, while I know it can be functional and depending on where you are might be actually necessary, I would find more of a statement fixture. And then this one is kind of like a shell finish. So again, adding a new texture. It really fits with the vibe of everything else as well. It's light, it's airy, and it's adding a sculptural element to the space. The next thing I would do, every room needs some sort of life, so I would add a plant into the corner, and it was layering over that Roman shade, the bamboo shade, which creates a nice kind of natural feel, and it's adding height into the space as well. Oh, I do. Thanks, Delon. So I got people commenting finally. I actually have to look over to my phone because of the way I have this set up, but I'm really excited. Feel free to comment, talk to me tell me what you think about this new software I'm using, if you think it's good, if it's helpful. So all the things. I will definitely check out. I'm going to come back to the comments, but I'm going to keep going. Okay. So yeah, so we've got, let's see, the plant. So again, it's adding some height into the corner there, adding texture, adding color, adding some interest, adding life, which is so important. The next thing I would do is actually style the top of the cabinet. Now, I didn't necessarily recommend a color for the cabinet. I think color can be really personal. It depends on how bold you want to go. I'm not even convinced you have to paint the cabinet, to be honest. Basically, if you style all the other elements, I might not do it because I don't know that I want that cabinet to be necessarily a focal point, more just kind of layered in the background. But by adding some textured baskets on the top, it makes it feel a little more considered. It feels like I'm actually intentionally using that space without it feeling too cluttered. And the key here too is obviously it's adding texture, which I always love. Okay, so the next thing I would do is it's important to think about lower level lighting as well. So you want to have lighting up above, which is great, but you also want to think about having lighting kind of at the lower level of where you're sitting, kind of like the human level. So what I would do is in front of this art, and you have like a little cabinet there, or a little console, whatever you want to call that, I would actually find a lamp that can layer over that art. So one thing I find with art is people get really afraid to style things in front of it because they're trying to avoid covering up the art. But I actually think that layering in front of art looks a little bit more interesting, and it really helps tie the art with that console table, creating a vignette and tying the two together. So that's something that I would definitely consider. And the added bonus to that is that the light is adding additional light into the space. Yeah, so Dion's saying that basically what I've done is almost like a PowerPoint embedded, and to be completely honest, it's not PowerPoint, it's Keynote, which is the Mac version of PowerPoint. And let's see, he's saying live streaming software not as bad as the only video size setting, okay, so almost like PowerPoint embedded with live video streaming software, not bad. Is that the only video size setting or customizable? So just to answer Dion's question about what I'm using here, I just got this, so I don't know the ins and outs. I'm just sharing my screen. So basically it's software that I can use to go live. So I'm not actually going live. I'm going live through this software, and I can overlay different graphical elements, which is what you see in the corner with the Dream Movies live show. And I'm sharing my screen, and I chose to share my screen with PowerPoint so that I could create a flow of what I'm going to talk about, as opposed to having to flip-flop back and forth from maybe Photoshop to a picture somewhere else. And I just felt like this would be a little more cohesive. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay. The last thing, I think it's the last thing, number 7, is just some more pillows. So I would bring in some more patterns, some more textures on the chair and on the couch to just make it feel a little more comfy and bring in some more patterns. So my rule of thumb is to try to get at least 3 colors into a space. Obviously, the more the better, and to get at least 3 patterns into the space. I know Sarah Richardson actually says that she normally gets, I'm going by memory, I want to say she says that she gets about 19 plus patterns into a space. And the thing is, patterns are found everywhere. Your chair, the chair in the little entryway there that you see has a pattern. Your pillows have a pattern. The rug has a pattern. Even the light fixture has a pattern. So you want to be considering all of these things and how they work together. All right, so there you have it. I think that was the last of that. So I'm going to go back to basically just sharing me. So that's basically what I suggest for you, Cheryl. Oh, and now I'm actually seeing how the comments come in. So now that I'm not sharing my screen, I actually can see the comments on the side of the software that I'm using. So that's really great. I'm going to be playing a lot more with this as I go to see what I can do. I can actually also play videos. I can add more overlays of graphics. It's really freaking cool. I'm really excited because I feel like this looks a lot more professional. And it just makes it a lot less clunky because who wants to do this all the time? It's not the worst, but I also, though, you know that I created these bad boys before my last video. So if you're loving the new format of the videos, give me the old love with this guy. I'll probably end up overlaying these types of things with more graphics in the video itself. It's really cool. You just import graphics and you hit keyboard shortcuts. So I'm just going to quickly show you. Right now, oops. This is removing. I'm just doing a keyboard shortcut to add and remove this icon in the corner. And then what happens is I can do this to remind you guys all that you've just watched the live Dream Homies live show. I really need to get the name and I need to know the name. So it's really cool. You basically all just do this with the touch of the keyboard. It's amazing. So I think that's all for now. I have actually a discovery call at 12, so I need to just get quickly prepared for that. But I'm going to basically be doing these basically more produced like this as it goes on, and I'm going to keep giving you guys show notes unless it doesn't feel like it's adding any value. So you guys got to let me know if the show notes are helpful. Please go to michellebennett.com/live-show. I gotta fix that URL, live-show-7. Next time I come to you live, it's gonna be just / the number of the episode, but I didn't have time to figure that out. But go check it out, because it's gonna have all the things that we talked about, some links to some of the stuff that I talked about. And if you're interested in some decor coaching with me, submit your name to get the opportunity to get it at 25% off. I'm gonna pick one person to do that with, and my only ask from that person is to hopefully give me some feedback, give me kind of what's working and what's not so that I can make sure that I'm creating the best service that works for you guys. So that's all for now. I did not introduce myself at the beginning of this video because I just felt like I had so much to talk about. But again, I'm Michelle Bennett, and you can learn more about me at michellebennett.com. And that's it. So I'm actually going to do a quick scroll of the comments, see what people are saying. So thanks, Rachel. I know it's great, isn't it? The video software is awesome. You got to do it. You just got to check it out. And I think that's all. All right. Yay. Thanks for the love, guys. I will see you next week. I am very committed now, starting now, to doing this at least once a week. I'm starting with Fridays, but I'm going to be open to seeing what works best for people because I fully realize people are at work. So more to come. I might survey the group and see what people are thinking. But by all means, please keep coming back. Tell your friends. Do all that good stuff. Otherwise, I will see you next Thursday. Bye, homies.